All right, 12 and 13, we're going to do plug and chug, okay? That's another option when you have multiple choice. Just remember, anytime you're doing the plug and chug, always start with your middle number. And if it's too big, then you're going to go up your list. If it's too small, then you're going to go down your list. See how they're in order from smallest to biggest? Please use that to your advantage. So on number 12, in your calculator if you want, that way you don't have to do it by hand, I'm just plugging -3 in, oops, everywhere. Sorry about that, extra parentheses. Plus 5 plus 3 times -3 minus 2. And I'm going to hit equals and see if I get -21. Which if I put it in, I do get -21. So -3 was my correct answer. Now, if it would have been, let's say 8 or something, then I would have to go up to one of these. If it was -28, then I would go to one of these, okay? So make your adjustments. All right, 13, same thing. I'm going to start off by plugging in 400 everywhere I see an X, because it says what is the smallest number of guests that the hotel needs in a season in order to not lose money. So you want it to be equal to 0. So when I put in 400 squared plus 100 times 400, and then I subtract 120,000. Let's see, I had it on my calculator and I must have deleted it. You end up with, I think, 80,000. Okay. Well, that's a profit. So we want it to be equal to 0. So 400 is too big. So now I know it's not 400, 600, or 1200. I know it's either A or B. If I plug in 300, and you could pick either one. If you picked one and it didn't work, then it's the other, right? So if I plug in 300 and I put it in my calculator, I'm going to get 0. So my answer is 300. Okay, does that make sense? Okay. 14, what are the possible values of x for x minus 3 over 2 equals 5 over x? Now, here's what I would do. I would cross multiply and solve. If you prefer to plug in, that's fine. Just make sure when you're plugging in, for example, on this one, you got 2 different answers. So for me, I would probably plug in 5. And if 5 does not work, then I know it can't be H, J, or K. Do you see what I'm saying? You want to pick something that there's more of than just one, okay? So like -3, you would know -3 wouldn't work if 5 didn't work, right? Okay. Now, so then, pick something else, -5, or in this case, if, let's say 5 didn't work, then I would go with 2 and see if it works. If it does, it's G. If it doesn't, it's F, okay? See how you can kind of strategize to limit how many times you're plugging in numbers, okay? But I'm going to go through and show you cross multiply. So that's x times x minus 3 equals 10. So that's x squared minus 3x. I'm going to move this over so it becomes a -10. Oops, can't write. Equals 0. Okay, and then what's going to multiply to give me -10? Well, 5 and 2, and I can make it a -5, right? And a +2, because those added together will give me -3. So then I know my answers are x equals 5 and x equals -2. So 5, -2 is J. All right, makes sense? All right, and then 15, they want us to factor, and then once we get the factors, they want us to add it together. That's what it means by what is the polynomial sum of these two binomials. So all I have to do is factor the left, -12, okay? I'm going to go about this quickly. So x and x, so I know it's going to be 2x. All right, and then -12, I could say 1 times -12, 2 times -6, or 3 times -4. So if I look, I want to get -4 in the middle, so it has to be 2 and -6, right? So +2 and -6. So if I look at that, that would be 2x minus 4 if I added those together. So 2x minus 4 is B. I hope that was helpful.